Manchester United then are not in action this week, so I thought I'd do an update, transfer talk, a little update regarding Manchester United. Now, there's been a lot of talk in the papers, the press online, to do with Manchester United and potential players that could be coming into the club and potentially players that could be leaving the club in the summer. And I've been looking in the Sun today, and there's some really stupid stories there regarding Manchester United and potential players that could be leaving the club in a summer clear-out. Now, I don't think that Manchester United need a summer clear-out this summer at all. I think 2 or 3 players definitely do need to be moved on, and probably 3 or 4 players need to come into the club to bolster the squad, to make it a stronger squad for sure. But not too many players need to leave for me. We've got players that aren't good enough, but not too many. Some potentially could go out on loan as well. But the papers are picking up on the fact that Memphis depay, they're saying in the Sun, has been an absolute flop, and this is just absolutely ludicrous. You know, he's not played every single game at all this season, not really got consistency in playing 90 minutes every single week. We've seen in recent weeks some performances against Midtjylland and Arsenal where he's definitely improved that Midtjylland game and run their defence absolutely ragged. And I still think that he's got the potential to be a very, very good player for Manchester United. Now, why would we want to sell him after one season after spending 25 to 30 million pounds on him? Is just stupid for me. He's still scored 7 goals for Manchester United. You look at Martial, has scored 12 goals. Now, if he had played the amount of minutes that Martial played, he probably would have at least 12, probably more goals for Manchester United. I think he will score a fair few goals for Manchester United. Still only 22. I mean, Christ, what are people expecting at that age for a player who's come into a new team, a new league, does speak the language, but still, you know, it's a new culture for him, and will improve, I think, next season, be a fantastic player for Manchester United. Can't be getting rid of him. The second one is the most shocking story I've seen in a fucking long time. Morgan Schneiderlin potentially leaving as well. There's no quotes as to why he should be leaving Manchester United. The Sun are just daft as fuck with this stupid quote. Well, not even a quote, just saying that he should be leaving Manchester United. Why? He's been really important to Manchester United this season when he's played. For some reason, Louis van Gaal's been an absolute fucking idiot and put Marouane Fellaini in the team over him. When Manchester United have had Morgan Schneiderlin in the team, we've been so much better. He's one of the best defensive midfielders in the Premier League. And now, because he's not playing regularly, Kante of Leicester has taken his place in the French squad, which is disappointing for Morgan Schneiderlin, because the only thing I can think of is he would want to leave Manchester United, because Louis van Gaal's treating him like dog shit. But if Jose Mourinho come into Manchester United, I'm sure that he would be one of the first names on the team sheet for Jose Mourinho, and I can see him having a fantastic season next season when he's played week in, week out, which is what he should be this season. You know, sometimes he's been dropped and maybe has had a bad game when he's come back into the team, but he should be playing regularly week in, week out. He cost £25 million. He's the best defensive midfielder at Manchester United. Should be playing every single minute of every single week unless he's injured. The other two, Marcus Rojo and Phil Jones, I can see pros and cons to keeping both of them because they've both been very injury prone. Personally, I'd probably keep Marcus Rojo. Can play left back and centre defence. I would love to see him play at centre defence, but the problem is Cameron Borthwick Jackson and Luke Shaw have both been injured, which has meant he's got to really play there, because I don't know who else we have got other players in and around the under 21 squad that we could play at left back, but I don't think Louis van Gaal wants to take any more risks with playing any more youngsters, so he's kept Blind, who looks absolutely knackered, playing so many minutes and so many games as centre back. But if Cameron Borthwick Jackson could come back from injury, I'd like to see Marcus Rojo given a run out in the centre of defence. Now, he would be one I would definitely keep out the two. Phil Jones, I think his time's up. You know, he can't stay injury free at all for Manchester United. Maybe if Mourinho comes in, he'd give him another chance, but you know, I could see him moving on. He's a fantastic prospect, still only 23. You look at the likes of Vidic, he didn't come into Manchester United until he was 23, 24. Same with Patrice Evra, so there's still time on his side if he can stay injury free, but he just cannot do that, and I can't see him doing that now. Unfortunately, I can't see him going to the Euros, not performing, not playing games, so it is a real shame, because he could be that player to play along Smalling, for England and for Manchester United, but it's probably going to be John Stones over the future because he can't stay injury free, which is a shame. The other player that's been linked with a move away from Manchester United in the press is Anthony Martial. I can see why they're linking him away to PSG because he's French, but it's a dog shit league. Only PSG in the league, winning the league at a canter, but they are saying that Cavani and Ibrahimovic will be on their way this summer, which links us in with Ibrahimovic to Manchester United. You know, I can't see Martial leaving anytime soon. If Manchester United do go down and stop qualifying for the Champions League on a regular basis, potentially if he becomes a world-class player, then obviously heads could be turned, could potentially want to be playing Champions League football. But at the moment, I think he will stay for at least next season. You know, he's probably got a big buyout clause on a big salary. I think he's on at least £90,000 a week. For a 20-year-old, that is quite a steep amount of money. So, I mean, I know PSG would pay that sort of money. But for this moment in time, he says he's happy at Manchester United. And if Manchester United next season can get back to winning ways, push themselves up the league, challenging for the league, hopefully being in the Champions League, then I think he will definitely stay for the next few years at least. Which links us obviously to Ibrahimovic. Personally, I'm not too sure whether we should sign Ibrahimovic now. His age, you know, you're looking at 35 next season in October. You know, the physicality of the Premier League, the demand, the amount of games you have to play in the Premier League. You know, he's playing in France, which is a much easier league. Playing in France, you know, I saw them the other day. They won 9-0, and I think he scored 4 of the goals. You know, it's a lot easier to play in that league. You barely, when you're 6-7-0 up, you're barely even bothered. You can just stroll through the game. Whereas in the Premier League, every single game till the last minute is tough. As I said, the physicality is so demanding. You know, you don't get a rest. You play all season. The amount of games you play, and he certainly couldn't play 40 to 50 games in England. And Jose Mourinho doesn't like to rotate his squad too much. We've seen it at Chelsea. He hasn't, over the years, hasn't really rotated the squad that much. So unless he's going to start rotating and only give him sort of 25 games next season, I can't really see the point in playing him. So if you play him up front every single week, I would personally go for a younger player if we're going to get one like, you know, an Aubameyang, Lukaku, Lukaku said he wants to play Champions League football next season. He would be my preferred option, and Harry Kane would be my second option, but I can't see Harry Kane leaving Tottenham, with Tottenham being absolutely fantastic this season. So Romelu Lukaku would be for me the better option. You know, he's 22 years of age, not even 23 yet, scores bags of goals, he's powerful, he's tall, and he's Premier League proven. So that's what Manchester United need. In a better team next season, challenging for the title under Jose Mourinho. Hopefully he could potentially score us the 20-25 goals to help us challenge for that Premier League title, where you're not going to probably get that out of Zlatan Ibrahimovic now. I mean, if you got the pair of them, I would take that, but I can't see Zlatan Ibrahimovic coming in if we get a world-class another striker. You know, and we're still going to have Rashford and Wayne Rooney potentially in and around the team, and Martial where he plays out wide or up front. You know, if Jose Mourinho only plays one striker up front, you know, and is not rotating enough, will Zlatan Ibrahimovic be happy to sit on the bench for a few games here and there? He's got a big ego. I can't see that. Personally, I think he probably will end up going off to China. I don't know. Or the MLS. But he has said that there are offers in the Premier League. Maybe another one. Arsenal would probably suit him better if we could get Lukaku for me, who I would prefer. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on them situations. In other news, Rashford played for the under-20s, got himself an assist. Didn't really have many chances in the game. Did have one chance where he was a bit too wide and the goalkeeper saved the shot. But apart from that, not too much in the way from Rashford. Hopefully he can build himself up to get into the under-21 England team. Also, I was hearing that Angel Gomez got himself a goal abroad. Not too sure on the situation there. I think the team he was playing in lost the game. Can't see too much information on that anywhere. Would like to see a bit more information on that. Hopefully he can improve, because he's still only 15, Angel Gomez, and get himself a regular place in the Manchester United under-18s, and then hopefully maybe next season or the season after get himself into the under-21s, or potentially, who knows, a place along the substitutes bench in the Premier League. You wouldn't put it past Louis van Gaal giving him a place on the substitutes bench before the end of the season, would you? Anyway, let me know your thoughts on the situations are covered. If you like this, make sure to hit the like button, and I could do some updates over the rest of the season. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.